Benson City Councilmember who's a part of the Benson recall election on May 19th. Just so you know, this is an unpaid interview that Mr. Hayes requested. Mr. Hayes, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Great, great. Well, let's go right into the interview. How are you feeling about the upcoming recall
I'm
campaign?
feeling pretty confident about it. I'm very grateful for the community support I'm getting from the community leaders such as Mike McCune. He's a big influence here, and he's a very decent guy.
Well, that's wonderful. Glad to hear that. And, you know, there's been some controversy regarding aluminum dynamics. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Right now, with, I believe, the hearing happening on the 26th, I don't believe I'm allowed to discuss anything about the actual plant and the going-ons with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, and the hearing on the 26th, and we will definitely be covering that hearing. That is the hearing between Crystal Anderson and Aluminum Dynamics and the city of Benson.
Correct.
Because they feel that there was an illegal processing of the conditional use permit and variance. Is that your understanding?
Yes, that's what I've been told what's happening.
Okay, very good. And well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Councilman Hayes.
Well, can I backtrack just a little bit?
Of course.
Because I can't talk about the actual plant, but I can talk about the transparency or the lack of transparency that I've been told I've been lacking. Mm-hmm. So when I first took the seat in City Council, that's when the pushback for the plant began.
And when was that?
That was in January of 2025.
2025, okay.
And so when the first happenings of the plant were being discussed, I was nowhere near City Council. And when I first started, that's, like I said, that's when the pushback began. And I didn't know what the process was. I had no idea about the recycling plant itself. So I started looking, I started researching, I started asking experts such as our city engineer what was going on and trying to find as much information as I could. The flood of emails that started coming in, I didn't respond to because being new to this subject, I was kind of advised not to throw out any information that might be misinformation. So I was doing my due diligence, trying to get caught up on what the process of the plant was.
I see. So you took office essentially in January, and then all of a sudden there was a flood of emails. I know I learned about the aluminum processing plant in June.
Yes.
Of last year, and then fast forward. So you weren't aware of the meetings that took place in 2024 and...
No, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about the plant?
Well, again, I don't know if I'm allowed to speak about that. I could see the good in it as providing the jobs, providing a little bit of economic growth, which Benson really needs, and giving job security to to the local individuals that want to apply there.
Very good. Well, let's go back to the question. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you lived in Benson? And
well, my family moved here in 1974 when I was in second grade.
Wow.
So I was fortunate enough to be raised up in a small town like this. After graduation, I went into the military, and I got to see the world. And I also learned a lot about integrity, honesty, loyalty, the core values that you're taught when you're in the military.
Well, thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, I learned a lot about leadership. As you move up in rank, you become more and more of a direct leader. And so the military taught me to hone my skills and develop them to where I believe they're pretty fine-tuned now.
And then you moved back to Benson, and what year was that?
Yes, I moved back to, after I left the military, I went to California and pursued an education, got my bachelor's of science in biology and comparative physiology. And I stayed there a little bit longer because my parents were there, elderly, and I wanted to be around them. After that, I moved to Texas for about 10 years, and I said, nah, I need to come back home. So in 2023, I moved back to Benson. Now, mind you, I still have family here, so I was visiting Benson every 3 to 4 months.
And your profession is you're a teacher.
Yes. This year I'm teaching earth science. Last year I taught biology, and next year I'll be teaching engineering.
Engineering. Impressive.
Can I expand on that a little bit?
Of course.
Because I heard on more than one occasion Mr. Kaplowitz talk about my teaching and that I should focus more on the safeguard of my students. I have to tell you that my top priority every day for the last 27 years has been to provide a safe and supportive atmosphere for my kids to learn. I say my kids because every year I have my kids.
I get it. They're like an extended family.
They are, all 100 of them.
Very good. That's a lot.
But he did speak about me not safeguarding, and I feel that crosses the line a bit. And so I'm respectfully asking Mr. Kaplowitz to not talk about how I don't look out for my students. I don't just look out for their health. I look out for their well-being, their mental wellness. I want to see them in the future being happy and healthy and successful. So if you can stop, I'd really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that. And what is your vision for Benson?
Well, my vision for Benson is to keep it a small town, but to grow it economically. Make it responsible growth, something that can help the city thrive. You know, we want to get new roads in here. We want to have lower taxes. I understand that. We have a large population on fixed income. Let's see about lowering these taxes. How do we do that? We bring in revenue. Where do we get the revenue? We bring in retail. We bring in industry. We do what we have to do so that the city of Benson can have the money to do the roads, have the money so we don't have to rely on property taxes or food tax. That's how I see Benson going. Still have the hometown feel, the small town feel, but thriving.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. And any closing thoughts?
Yes, I'm going back to one more time. Mr. Kaplowitz talked about how he would teach earth science different. I do take the environment very seriously. Knowing earth science as well as I do, I know what's available, and I can't expand on that right now because, again, of litigation. But as a science teacher, I also know not to take facts from a social media webpage. I also know not to take facts as facts from the opposite side of the fence. What I do know is to take facts from those who are experts, the engineers, the environmentalists, such as ADEQ, such as EPA. With their strict regulations, I believe that our risks are going to be minimized because that's what their job is to do. So I guess that's all I have to say now.
Well, thank you, sir, for being with us. Really appreciate your service to our country as well. Thank you, Councilman Darren Hayes, for being with us, and you take care.
Thank you. You have a great evening, too.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
That was a good interview, mister.
Thank you. I appreciate
That was
that.
good.